treats like partially developed adults. So,
I think there was a moment that Amil had no idea what to do, but then was confronted with a small child and changed the patterns on his face to just really goofy stuff. So now Amil just plays peekaboo but with his face.
That's fucking great. Okay, I like the idea of Roy and Amil having a lot of similarities in a lot of things. But I think is it fair to say that Amil kind of treats children like animals? Like a cute animal that you would see at a petting zoo or something?
Yeah, that seems probably pretty fair.
Okay.
He has no idea what to do.
Okay.
So he makes his face do weird things.
Okay.
yeah, and Roy is just kind of treating them like a disabled person.
Okay.
Brains aren't fully developed; they are inferior beings.
Sure.
I feel like Bluvan likely regards them sort of like Mr. Rogers.
Really?
Sort of, yeah. Really appreciating sort of the
Hey, Morgan.
the developmental needs of children.
Sorry.
Yeah. Can you repeat that, Jeff?
I'm getting a heckload of... Okay, it's gone. Yeah, I was just talking about how he really appreciates children because he feels like they're often one of the groups that gets kind of neglected in the middle of war and all these planetary upheavals, and so they're usually ones that Bluvan wants to make sure he connects with when he can.
Wow, that is so cozy. I love the Mr. Rogers comparison. Okay, awesome. Cool. So we need to hear from Evelyn and Mate. Oh, and no, we already heard from Heaven's character, who is named Amil.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Mate actually doesn't have any issues with children, but initially had a hard time figuring out what was happening to the humans over a period of time.
Or to the orcs.
Yeah, to the orcs, really, yeah. And then just watching them and then watching them die and not having a really good frame of reference for why that happened to them and not to me.
I'm sure that's got to be a really interesting thing for Mate is the immortality complex of connecting with children is probably really weird because one minute they're children and the next minute they're adults and then the next minute they're dead.
Yeah, and very difficult to deal with. I feel like at some point Mate may have known why that happened, but doesn't really remember why.
Interesting. Cool. And Evelyn.
I feel like Evelyn is probably the cool aunt for all of the kids because they see her and they see the crazy hair and the tattoos and they're like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. I want to be just like her. But she's really awkward about it. So she tries to be cool. But I think it's they just think she's cool because of how she looks and she's still really socially awkward around them.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. I relate to Evelyn. Okay, so, you guys are starting off on the Gemini. I need to go get my notebook so that I make sure I'm not missing anything. So you guys are all on the Gemini. So, yesterday, the Gemini made the jump into the. I have a name for the planet, not the star system. Yeah, you can look it up.
Oh, okay.
So you made the jump into the most recent star system, and traditionally nobody leaves the ship on the first day in a star system because you guys are still, or if anybody leaves the ship, it's not to do jobs. It's like to do scouting. So I think that you have a few people, nobody from your party, but a few people go down to the planet and talk to the locals and kind of just figure out what the deal is at this planet. And then they set up, like, you know, they make some contacts and they set up some, like, listening software that's just check the equivalent of, like, checking police radio chatter and stuff like that. Making contacts with, like, underground organizations. Ooh, that's good. So the star that you are orbiting around is Trappiste 1. So there's only one inhabited planet in this star system. This star system doesn't have a lot of planets in it. The inhabited planet is Tritally, and is a fairly a pretty well domesticated planet. It has big cities on it. It has on several, you know, within several systems away. Like, everybody knows about this planet. There's Tritally, and then there's a second domesticated location in the star system, and it is Tritally's moon, which is it's pretty much a feral planet. It's fully terraformed and has, like, huge forests and everything, but only like half of one continent is occupied, and even that, it's mostly farmers, and there's a few towns, but there's only one city of note in Tritally 1, which is a city that has a university on it. And then the Tritally Prime, the main planet, is mostly it's mostly like manufacturing and pharmaceuticals that's happening on that planet. So that planet, the biggest thing that's happening with the moon is that people get some, like, drug components out of there, but it isn't significantly inhabited.
I think that Amil actually, so it's basically like the Amazon rainforest where they go in to get, like, pharmaceuticals.
Kind of. It's pretty, yeah, and that's pretty similar to Amil's homeworld.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the first day you guys are just screwing around, and that's actually going to be the prologue game that we did last week. So today, you guys are, at least one of you is hanging out in the Tavern, which is where people go, not just to party, but also to, like, look for jobs. I think the Tavern has basically the sci-fi equivalent of one of the fantasy standard, like, billboard with job postings on it, except it's more of like a forum board that the Gemini AI is like compiling based on all of the, like, you know, billions of terabytes of information that is just, like, scanning through in the system. It's just making this huge list of any jobs that it thinks that people in this crew might be interested in, and So you see several jobs on there, and probably next level I'll have a better, like, I'll give you guys an actual list of jobs that you can take. But for this level, I'm gonna go pretty straightforward. I think a few of you are interested when you see this, but Evelyn, I think you in particular are really struck when you catch this one. There is a job that is posted by the local university. Let me check if I have a name for this university. I don't. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Actually, I know where it's written. Give me a second. Dynell. Dynell University, which is the university on the moon, posted a job that one of the professors went missing while out on an expedition. And they're looking for some people that are willing to go do an investigation and find out why she hasn't reported back in, probably like a month at this point.
Oh no.
Yeah, so they've already contacted the police, and the police ended up contacting the local equivalent of like the National Guard, and they've looked around, but it's a big abandoned moon, and they haven't been able to find her. So that is a job that catches your eye. There's not much listed beyond that in the job listing, but you have a contact at Dynell University that you can go to get more details.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I think Evelyn would be jumping at the bit for that. Like, she'd probably like pull the group aside and just be like, "Hey, so when somebody from a university goes missing, it's actually like really scary because if you think about it, most of them aren't combat trained. So she's probably in a lot of trouble. We, on the other hand, are combat trained. So we should go help her. And she'll probably give us some sweet stuff because she works for a university."
So you're saying this is a babysitting mission?
No,
Sounds like more of a rescue mission.
For kids?
Amil would
Fine,
like to
I'll do
know.
it. Let's do it.
Amil would like to know what she's a professor of.
I think that is not listed in the listing here. You probably could do some research and try to find
her LinkedIn page.
I was going to say you could go look at like the university's website.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Yeah. So you have a tablet phone, as every person in this game does, and you can go check out their website, and you search the directory, and you find. Oh no! You know what? Her name is not listed. Is not entered in the listing. So
I am going to. Amil is going to get a very like suspicious look on his snot face.
okay, this is your first month with the crew, right?
Yes.
Okay, then you don't know this. This is pretty standard. These listings typically don't have a lot of information in it. It's usually
But the
just
university's page doesn't have her listed?
No. The job posting did not say who the professor that went missing is, so you don't have a name to search.
Oh. So I don't know she's a professor.
They said a professor has gone missing.
Okay.
They didn't say which one.
Did the university in general make this posting, or is there a specific contact?
I think the contact is the I think it would probably be the Dean of Public Affairs.
Why don't we go talk to him?
Ruda's a little annoyed that he doesn't see any like postings for Damon killing Damon, but then he realizes that like this could be something related. So now he's like, he's not so annoyed anymore. I think he's more interested.
Is everyone on board?
I'm 100% on board.
I like it.
Okay. So you guys follow the standard procedure, which is like you like check a box on the job posting that says that like you have accepted it, and that means no other groups are going to try to take that job from you, basically. When you guys head down to, you guys do all your basic preparations, and then you head down to the hangar to head out, and you actually meet the captain there. The captain, his name is Captain Ilya. So you meet Captain Ilya there, and she raises a hand when she sees you guys, and she says, Bluvan, you have 2 new recruits on your team this month, correct? These 2? She points at Amil and Roy.
That's right.
If it's alright with you guys, I would like to go with your group this month. I would like to supervise your mission, and I'd like to evaluate you and see how your team works together, make sure that you guys have good chemistry with the new guys and that everything's going well, and I want to see how you guys work together. Is that alright?
Are we in trouble?
No, babe, you're not in trouble. And I think she scruffs your hair.
Sweet.
Wait, scruff is the wrong word. That's a bad thing. Ruffles your hair.
Evaluations
Is that all right
are
with everybody?
standard. This is neither good nor bad.
So, Ruda, is that all right with you?
Ruda's gonna play it real fucking cool right now.
Okay, good. Alright, so, if there's not any other business, you guys start packing up your ship. You see that the wombats are preparing to head out on another mission, and as they're getting ready, you actually see a girl from the wombats, Liko, Otema's special friend, who's the girl with the really big gun that's Ruda's workout buddy. Liko heads over and she gives you guys a wave, and she says, like, I think she's gonna go to Ruda because you're her pal, and she walks up and she bumps you on the shoulder and does the secret handshake with you, and she's goes like, hey Ruda, bro, good luck on the mission today. I know this is a new star system. See how it goes.
Thanks, bro. It's gonna be a walk in the park.
And then she kind of scratches her ear. Remember, she's a dog person. And she looks around and is doing the, like, she's avoiding an uncomfortable conversation thing. And then she goes, so, hey, look, I was talking to Otema the other day, and she said she didn't have a clear vision, but she's getting some bad vibes for you guys on this trip. So just keep your head on a swivel, all right?
What kind of bad vibes? What do you mean?
She shrugs and she says, like, I don't know, man. She saw like a dark wind or something like that. You know, her dreams are weird sometimes.
I'm gonna stop.
Like
right
a
there.
fart?
I think you're talking about Damon.
Yeah, Liko shrugs and she says, I don't know, man. She said it to me, and I don't want you to go in there unprepared. Just keep your...
Ruda gets
keep your
goosebumps all over
Is-
his body. He's now
Is Otema on the ship?
He turns back to the gang and he's like, guys, somebody said that they had a prophecy of a dark wind, and I think there's gonna be Damon, and I think there's gonna be the warp, and I think we're gonna have a good old time here. Let's go right
It'll
now.
be a romp.
I'm gonna go, man, that's wild. What's a prophecy?
Your assumption requires verification.
Dark wind, don't you all understand? Let's go right now. Stop talking.
Evelyn, Otema is on the Gemini still. She's not going out on any jumps yet.
Do I have enough of a connection with her that I can just teleport to where she is?
You could teleport to her room. I don't think you can teleport directly to a person, although that's an upgrade you can get later.
Can I blip into her room real quick to check if she's there?
Okay. Do you want to blip into her room, or do you want to blip into the hall next to her room and not?
Nope, directly into her room. Evelyn has no, filter. She's just like, well, if Lico's here, obviously I'm not going to walk into anything inappropriate. Boop!
Okay.
Bran, you gotta roll an inappropriate check.
Alright.
Yeah, how do you check for that?
Rude check.
On a scale of 2 to 12 inappropriateness, it's a 7. That's perfectly in the middle. Yeah, she's lying on her bed, reading one of her books and drinking tea, and you pop into the room, and there's a bit of a displacement of air and stuff as you pop. And as you do, she goes, "Oh shit!" and she rolls backward off of her bed and knocks her cup, and it breaks.
Oh shit!
Oh no! Oh no! I'm so sorry. I want to start helping her clean up the cup, but then while I'm scrambling the pieces together, I'm also gonna be like, "Also, what's this dark wind? What's that?"
Thomas Jesus Christ, Evelyn, you cannot keep doing that. It's terrifying.
So I'm getting some serious Q vibes from Avalon right now.
Oh fuck yeah!
Fuck yes.
Mon Capitan, hello.
Yeah. I mean, it's just. Look, maybe it's nothing. When the visions are abstract like this, it could mean anything. And it's I can usually only piece together what it meant in hindsight, but I don't know, I had a vision, and it was you and Bluvan and a couple other people from your group, and you were surrounded by a dark wind, and you looked worried, and it's, some kind of metaphysical symbology, whatevers, and I'm just, I don't know. It could be bad. Just, be careful.
That is concerning. Before I go, I just want to ask her, does she know anything about, the particular area or the university where we'd be going?
She totally shrugs and she goes, I did not even know you were going to a university. Is it a cool one?
I mean, aren't all universities cool? They're just, places of learning. It's swell.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I think she starts, slowly lifting her book back up.
Yeah, I think Avalon's just gonna, be like, okay, well, sorry for popping in like this, even though it's almost definitely going to happen again, and then I'm gonna blip back into the hangar with the crew.
Yeah, she definitely laughed and, gave you a wave before you laughed. Okay, so you blip back down to the hangar, and, the space that you appear in is kind of, right on top of, another guy who's already standing there and, moving some goods over to his ship, and you just knock him over. He's like, God damn it, Avalon, what the hell?
Sorry! I'm gonna, pull him to his feet real quick.
Okay.
I really have to get better about this.
So, you guys are all going to head down to the planet to check it out, right?
I'm gonna be like, oh, hold on, 1 second, and I run over to my ship, and you just see me start like welding stuff.
Okay.
Give me 1 second, hold on.
You guys are planning to take the Galanga, which is Amil's cargo ship, correct?
Can we take our vehicles?
Yeah, my cargo ship has space for all of our vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Well, except for Avalon's space
except
shuttle.
for the space shuttle.
So Avalon would have to fly that separately.
That's fine.
Alright, I'm definitely taking my race.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah, so I think you guys. I'm pretty sure I know where Amil is going with this. You guys get set up on board, and you realize that Amil has quickly assembled together a vacuum seal for the back door of their ship. It looks almost as if this ship was like somebody had pulled the back door off of the original model of this ship, like to reduce the weight or something, and Amil is just quickly patching it together to be life-sustaining.
I feel like Avalon's just concernedly looking over from the cockpit of her own ship, like, ooh, that's not good.
I'm gonna look
But she's
at
probably also laughing about it.
I'm gonna look at my crew and I'm gonna go, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Everyone's gonna get out of the ship and we're gonna let off a stink bomb inside. And if you can smell it on the outside, there's a route that it can take. And then it won't be able to...
The captain raises her hand and she says, Mr. Amil, are you going to make me fly inside of a stink-bombed ship?
Well, Wait, you can smell?
There has to be a better way to do this.
Are you telling me everyone here can smell?
I'm gonna raise my hand.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
I don't have a nose.
Oh, good. Me either. How about we just take it out for a quick spin, and if we start losing atmosphere, we fly back real quick.
Now, when you say we, do you mean Amil and Mate?
I mean, I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll take it out for a quick spin, roll a check, and...
Alright, go to Roll20, open up your character sheet, and roll me a hardware check.
Okay.
It's the journal task?
Should we both do it?
Nope, just Amil, because he's doing the patch job.
Okay. Can I assist with the patch job?
I mean, are you helping him patch it?
I would love to.
Yeah,
Then,
let's do that.
I tell you what, you roll a hardware check, and if you do good, we'll count it as a boost on his roll.
Okay.
Oh, guess what? Bluvan's gonna come in with an inspire as well, boosting your sense of confidence as you do this.
Okay, since there's no...
Awesome.
That's very good.
Hold on. Is it rolling?
Because I would be interested. Oh no, it rolled.
Sorry, I rolled it like 3 times. Take the first one.
Okay, so Amil, or Mate definitely did good enough to assist, and Amil did very good. So the two of you go out for a test flight, and it is surprisingly well insulated, and just overall it is beyond what is necessary for this ship to function well in space. So it's gonna go fine.
Amil is just gonna bang on the top console and is gonna be like, nothing but Bluvan confidence keeping this thing going.
Oh God.
That's great.
Okay.
What did Bluvan say?
Bluvan? Oh, the actual thing?
Yeah, what was the inspiring thing?
Well, Bluvan.
I believe in you, Amil.
And Mate.
Bluvan is also psychic, so Bluvan could just give him psychic inspiration.
Oh, okay.
Damn, these things are good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys fly on down to town.
Let's fly on down.
Yeah.
That's how we all died.
So this is the city of Tritally I.
Those words.
The landing pad, the air station, space station, is just like a mile north of the city, and they have a shuttle to take you down to the city from there. So I'm gonna start dropping you guys on this map. Everyone sees the map, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm dropping you guys all by the north entrance, and you can decide how to get around from there. So I have all these places labeled, but technically you guys would not know the locations right away, so let me know how you go about navigating.
Evelyn obviously isn't familiar with this university, but she's familiar enough with universities that she's going to start looking for one of those like boards that just like has places listed. I can't think of the name of them off the top of my head.
Right. So you're not in
Directory?
the university yet. You're
Yes,
in the
I'm looking for the directory.
university.
Hey, I got a question. Do we know yet what kind of faction controls this world, like in the different factions?
It is Terran. You're in the Terran Empire currently. And it's not one of those planets that's like so remote that that it's like pretty much ungoverned. This is it's solidly like middle. It's like a it's a city that is definitely like the Empire is aware of it, even though it's not like an imperial capital kind of place. You can feel the imperial presence in here.
Can we retcon something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
We need to land my shuttle outside of the city and put a tarp over it so no one finds it.
Okay.
In the cornfield.
Yeah, in a cornfield, and just make sure like no Terran like guards see this shit. And I'm saying that
Is there something you want to tell us, Amil?
the secret ingredient is crime.
I think we're all in this boat together, so we probably should help him.
Okay. I don't need you guys to. Actually, you know what? I definitely do need you to roll for that. So one of you guys is going to be in charge of disguising this, and that person should roll stealth.
I feel like I should come clean about this. When I left my homeworld, I stole this baby from the Terrans and illegally modified it. So, but it's such a like non-important ship that they probably just, chalked it up to like space piracy and don't care all that much about it. So the chances are low that they're gonna catch it. But
Did you do any like paint job or anything, or is it just literally it just says like Terran
We
Empire
know
on
for
it?
a fact he tore the fucking cargo door off of it.
oh no, it's a totally different. You saw how the paint job in Discord was like orange. That was all new. I painted it orange. I slapped some things on it. It's
So
does
it's
not
just
look
the class
important.
of
It has a
vehicles,
racing
the
stripe.
right class.
Yeah, it has a racing stripe.
Okay. All right, cool. So you guys park your ship in the wilderness relatively close by and hike on in. One thing you notice about the wilderness in this world that's kind of interesting is that as you're flying in, it almost looks like you're flying over like vast fields of grass, and as you get closer to them, you realize that this planet is primarily a forest, but the forest is made out of the closest comparison is plants that are kind of shaped like blades of grass, except they're like, 30 to 100 feet tall. So it is a forest, but it's a forest that kind of looks like a field when you're at a distance.
I'm kind of imagining it like the movie A Bug's Life.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's a good way to think about it. So you guys find a nice clear patch to park the Galanga in, and you head on into town. You're over here, northeast corner of town. How do you guys go about navigating? There is not a town map at the entrance.
We're just kind of up in front, speed walking. So he's just going by intuition, trying to I guess he's finding the university, but he doesn't know where to go. So he's just speed walking and just turning around.
Yeah, roll me an intuition check. So the thing to keep in mind with rolls in this game, adjusting from a D20 based game, in a game like Dungeons and Dragons where you're rolling a 20-sided die, 10 is the average, and then you get an even spread of numbers between 1 and 20. Because we're using 2 6-sided dice, the average result is going to be 7 plus whatever your modifier is. And then there's a scaling probability with 7 being the most likely and 2 and 12 being the least likely. I'm pretty sure the math works out that there's a...
Settlers of Catan rules.
Probability.
Oh.
So I think that there's a 2.5% chance of you rolling a 2 or a 12, and there's a 30% chance of you rolling a 7 or something like that.
Yeah,
and then each number between them is a sliding scale. So Ruda's 9. We're going to say that 7 is the universal baseline. 7 is average for the average untrained person. Ruda's intuition is a bit better than the average person. Ruda actually rolled an exact 7 plus 2, so that's going to be average. What you don't make your way to the university on the first try, but you make your way to the market square on the first try. And if you want to talk to people, there are lots of people in the market square that could point you to the university.
Yeah, Ruda's immediately walking up to people and asking.
Okay. Are you guys following behind Ruda, or is everybody kind of splitting up and going about this their own ways?
Roy is slowly following behind wherever the majority of the group is going, just looking at a data tablet.
Okay,
and
cool.
not really
Love
paying
it.
much attention to the people around because he's kind of disgusted by them.
Bluvan is following as well, but he's doing the opposite, where he is paying attention to the people around him. And what does he notice just in terms of a general vibe or atmosphere about the people?
That would also be an intuition roll.
Okay, I'm not doing any super special powers, but
No, it's just intuition.
I'll work on it.
Okay. Let me know when you get your roll, and I'll let you know what you find. Everybody else, are you guys... So we've got Amil, Avalon, and Mate. Are you guys following or going a separate way?
I think Mate would stick kind of close to the ship and listen out for kind of any errant Wi-Fi signals or distress signals.
You don't...
Ooh.
I mean, you don't pick up any distress signals. From the entrance of town, you're getting a good amount of wireless network signals. Okay, so Bluvan rolled a 7 plus 3. It's a 10. Yeah. So what you pick up is that the people in this area, they're pretty standard for the Terran Empire. This is a cozy, quiet little college town where it seems like like not much goes on. I think that you probably slip in, drop a credit to buy a local newspaper, and you thumb through it. You listen to local chatter as you're walking. You get the impression that it's pretty common for the college students to be rowdy, and everyone's a little peeved about that, but you don't really get the feeling that you get serious crimes happening around here pretty much ever. Jeff, you're from Westminster, right?
Yeah.
Pretty similar to Westminster.
Okay. In terms of are these organic people?
Yeah.
What are these? What type of person is it?
So, the population is 95% humans. And then you pass, maybe every few streets, you'll pass somebody who's a Nautilin or a Nova or an Avian. Actually, I'm gonna update that a little bit. Nova, Avian, or Faunian. Those are the three that you would see. And you see maybe one of those every few streets that you pass, but it's vast majority human. And this is pretty standard for small towns in the Empire.
All right, so why don't we start to work our way towards wherever this listing is supposed to direct us to?
Okay, so everybody in their own way. Three of you following Ruda, and then I think Evelyn is probably pretty easy to make. Evelyn's pretty good at making her way around a college town, so you guys can pretty easily get yourself over to Dynell University, down here in the bottom east corner of this... Bottom east? Southeast corner of this map. You get into the university. Do you guys just go up to a secretary and say that you want to speak to the Dean of Public Affairs?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's doing the talking here? I think Bluvan or Evelyn are the two obvious choices.
Evelyn, do you care?
I do not. If you want to take the lead, I will assist.
All right. Hail, good fellow.
Yeah, so the secretary looks like they're a college student who's, doing a student work. Is that what it's called? Job. And they're just sitting at the desk, browsing on the, probably scrolling Reddit on the desk computer, although you can't see directly. And they're gonna look up, and they're gonna say, "Did you just say hail to me, dude?"
That's right.
Cool, I guess.
We are responding to an official post for help. How can we help?
Give me a second. Bro. He flips through something on his computer. He goes, "Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. The dean's in a meeting. He's got another meeting at 3, but you can catch him in between. I tell you what, if you can be here for 20 minutes, you'll be able to talk to him. Is that cool?"
Where's the dean right now, and who's he meeting with?
He's... The student starts to say, "Oh yeah, he's meeting with that guy from..." And then he realizes that he's not supposed to, that's classified information. Like if you're a secretary, you're not just supposed to tell every person who walks into the business where your guy is. And he says, I don't think I'm supposed to tell you that, man.
How about you just tell me this one time and we don't tell anybody you told me? I'm not even going to be here. This is going to be...
Here's what he does. He looks down the hallway, and he looks down the other hallway, and he looks around the room and makes sure there's nobody in it. And he leans in real close, and he goes, "That depends. Got any weed on you?" We need to roll a does Evelyn have weed on her check?
Yes, we do. Because there's a possibility.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have a stat that roughly correlates to cool?
Let's take a look.
Occult?
I would give you my drugs, but it would probably kill you.
Maybe a cult?
Yeah, I think it's occult.
It's definitely a cult.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Roll a cult to see how cool you are.
Very cool.
Oh!
Evelyn, okay. Evelyn,
Also, Ruda is also very cool.
Yeah, Evelyn just has, like, some good, like, headache meds from the other day that are, like, you know, slightly above over-the-counter grade painkillers.
Abusable.
Yeah, abusable in good numbers. But Ruda definitely has, like...
I have some shit that'll knock you back to first grade.
Ruda has some
Space
Krell backwaters super weed.
Oh, wow.
That's what it's called. It says so on the bag, and the bag has a picture of a dude in sunglasses doing a kickflip on a hoverboard.
Wow.
Oh, that's nothing. 300
So,
space hero.
I mean, the answer, the deal was I would tell you where the dude is in exchange for some, you know, super weed.
Look,
so
dude, there's
listen,
super weed, and then there's this. And you better tell me where that dude is, and then you also better give me 300 space hero for this shit.
How about this? I tell you, I'm not super flush right now. I tell you where the dude is, and you give me like an ounce. He shrugs.
An ounce?
I don't know how much an ounce is.
I mean, for
For
information...
an ounce, he's also got to tell me who he's meeting with.
Yeah, we need to know who he's meeting with for an ounce.
Yeah, no problem.
Brent,
Hey, hold on, group. Don't be giving away my space weed. Half an ounce. You tell us where he is and who he's meeting with.
Roy looks up from his tablet and narrows his eyes, looks directly at the guy and says, "In the afternoon, a present loathsome Dean snaps at the perfect net." And then looks back down at his tablet.
This guy's gonna go, "Oh, cool, you in poetry club? I'm in there too, man. I haven't seen you."
No, dude. He just smoked some of this shit.
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
He's totally gonna take your deal. He says that's an awesome deal. Hey, Ruda rolled a perfect 12 on his occult. Ruda is and has a +4, which is the highest bonus any of you guys can have. Ruda is the coolest anybody in this party can possibly be.
Am I the group's drug dealer?
Wow.
Yes.
Drug dealer. Hold on. Ruda, I need you to edit your character sheet and go into aspects and add the party drug dealer as one of your aspects. This is very important for me. So, yeah, he's gonna tell you that, the Dean, do I have a name for the Dean? NPCs.
Dean Kelso.
Dean Kelso is fine. Dean Kelso is meeting with, let me see if I have his name written down anywhere. Fucker, how did I be able to get this? Okay. Hold on, maybe it's written in here. Nope, it's not written in. Okay. Somebody give me a pretty badass sounding name.
Bluvan!
Pollux.
Okay.
Pollux. UX.
Okay. Okay. So, ooh.
As in Castor and Pollux?
What did you say?
As in Castor and Pollux.
What did you guys
Nice.
say for the dean's name? Because you had something good. Kelso? Dean Kelso?
Yeah, it was Kelso.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me grab these two and drop them on the visible layer. Okay. So, Dean Kelso is meeting with Inquisitor Pollux of the Imperial Inquisition.
I do not. Do I immediately recognize him as a part of the Imperial Inquisition?
I mean, his name is Inquisitor.
Okay.
Inquisitor Pollux. It's
I-
his first
I am.
It's in the honorific, bro.
When I see that there's an Inquisitor in the room, I'm not gonna enter.
He's not in the room. He's in the
Oh.
dean's office, and the student just told you that. But you
Oh.
are not in the dean's office currently.
All
Oh,
right.
where's the dean's office? Tell us right now.
The dean's office is right there. There's a sign on the door.
Can I listen through the door? Can I like try to eavesdrop on the conversation?
Um,
I'm gonna laugh so hard when this is just like some administrative meeting that's so boring.
yeah, I go, Evelyn, I think you walk up to the door and you stick your ear against it, and the student looks like he's gonna complain, and then he looks down at the super weed, and he just shrugs.
And Ruda gives him a glaring eye.
Evelyn, make a perception roll for me.
Will do.
Come on. Is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? Is it gonna be medium? Roll them bones.
Ooh.
Okay. You get muffled speaking, but you don't
That's only slightly worse than human average.
untrained human average.
Oh,
That is
okay.
as good as if I had walked up and stuck my ear against a door. And worse than that. So yeah, you're listening to the door, you catch some mumbling, and then you hear a couple footsteps, and I think that you realize somebody is walking towards the door just in time to get your head away from it, but not in time to not be standing like
Right there.
the door hits you when it opens, and
Oof.
the Inquisitor is walking out, and he gives you a look, and he says, "Who are you?"
Hey.
Hail, good fellow.
Yeah, I think
Another
the
hail.
Inquisitor grabs Evelyn by the cuff of her jacket and lifts her up a little bit.
Oh!
Hold
I
on.
think
Hold on.
Roy looks up from his tablet.
Amil's hand reaches slowly, not grabbing, but reaches towards his sniper rifle.
Oh god. Okay. Evelyn, I need you to roll resolve for me. Okay.
Oof.
This is probably not going to be a like actual social contest scene. Okay. We'll see where it goes. For now, I would like you to take a mild consequence. That's a 3-tier consequence, right?
Yeah, it says -3.
What's a good mild consequence? How about just intimidated?
Okay.
Or intimidated is probably a moderate one. How about unsettled for
Okay.
a mild consequence? And that a mild consequence goes away after like 10 minutes or something. So that's just until the end of this scene.
Do I still have the migraines?
Nope. Those because of Bluvan's medical aid, they went away after the first day.
Oh, thanks, Bluvan.
Okay.
Yep.
So, you are unsettled, and so I don't think you have a good response. and he just scowls down at you and then drops you, and he points back at the dean, and he says, "You should learn to keep your people in line. And also,
Amil is going to, when he says that, he's going to say, like, maybe the Citadel should teach you to stay in line."
So
And that's how we
do you
died.
want me to... Is the Citadel the name of Amil's group?
No. I'm the Citadel. I just
be a name of any organization.
The name of the. I was thinking like just whatever the governing body of the Inquisitors is. So
No. I like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that down as a journal entry before I forget it.
Ruda moves toward Amil, like backing him up. Stares the Inquisitor down.
Give me a second. I have to make a Terran setting subfolder, and then with the Terran setting, I'm adding a subfolder called Inquisition, and then within the Inquisition, I'm adding a handout, and this handout is going to be named.
Random question: does cloning exist easily in this world?
Yes, but it clones the body and not the mind. That's why Roy is such a unique thing. Is normally you can transfer an intelligence from a biological being to a mechanical being, but you can't transfer an intelligence into a biological being. Citadel is leading organization of the Inquisition. Okay. Save changes. Close. So cool. So he is going to I mean, I guess it's. I tell you what. We can either just pass that up, or we can have you roll an intimidate and he rolls a resolve.
Sure.
Okay. Roll your intimidate.
Is intimidate on here?
No, I guess I got rid of it. Roll tough.
Tough. Okay.
Fuck.
That's pretty tough.
And he rolled a
Tough
7.
enough.
That's fucking dope. I think he grits his teeth and he's gonna look away and says, "Fine, but remember, we have rules and we have laws. If we find out that anything occult is going on at your school will be held responsible. You have an obligation to these people not to let that happen. If there's anything dirty going on here," and he hands her his card and says, "Give me a call." And then he gives you guys another dirty another dirty look, and he walks out of the room.
Ruda's like, me.
Thank you. Wow. Real mature, biological.
Roy, sometimes it just feels good to mock people.
It's a human thing, Roy, and an elfin thing.
Mockery is inefficient.
Inquisitor Pollux. You select a token. Okay. Save changes. Okay, I've added a character sheet for Inquisitor Pollux. The Dean shakes her head, and I think you've kind of put her in an awkward position, and she says, "What now? Can I help you?"
Listen, lady. We're here to help.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so diplomatic.
That was not informative.
Bluvan, take it away.
Love it.
I'm tired of dealing with this shit.
Hail, good lady.
Hail to you?
The third hail of the session.
Yeah, the
We are here responding to the official post for help. How can we help?
I think she chuckles and shakes her head and says, "Oh, this is about that."
Like
Yeah,
a
I've got
super
some time.
positive
Can you come into
Admiral
my
Ackbar.
office? Can you come into my office?
Yes.
She lets you in.
At
It's a
all
little bit of
times.
space, since there's 6 of you, or 7 including her. So she closes the door and she says, "All right."
Bryn. You should also drop in an Ilya.
Yeah, I was wondering about it.
Oh shit! I don't have Captain Ilya in here. I don't.
Bystanding this whole time while we sold that guy weed, and, like pissed off.
No. She's in the background, just kind of observing. I think she definitely was very excited when one of you stood up to the Inquisition. Was it Amil who stood up?
Yeah.
Good job. But no, she is not here to do your mission for you. She's here to see how well you guys work together. And also remember, she's not a fucking narc. She owns a fucking black market R Us like commuter ship. So yeah, she's not gonna give a shit about you guys like selling weed or whatever. She actually probably thinks that was a very like inventive way to solve the problem. Okay, so the dean lets you in, and yes, it's 8, including the captain. So it is very much a squeeze. And she flips through her tablet, and she says, "Okay, so first things first. I've got some forms here." She passes out to all of you guys. This just says you're not going to talk to anyone about this without consulting me first. All right? I want your
We need to know
signature.
what's going on before we send anything, lady.
Can I look
I need
through?
you to sign that before I can tell you what's going on.
Can I look for any loopholes in the language, like real quick?
Roll, yeah. What skill would this be?
Occult.
It's not Occult.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't think it's a cult. Maybe
Roy looks at the
perception?
rest of the group and goes, "Comply," and then just signs it.
Oh. Would it
Education.
be-
It is 100% education.
Oh,
It could
definitely
also be
education.
guile.
Oh god, that's the worst trait I have.
Yeah, guile, education, or intuition. I would accept any of those. Mate, you...
No, somehow
Yeah,
I
you're
couldn't
not-
reference that.
You're not from this galaxy, or, you're not from this culture. You just don't have tools to make that. Who would be good at this? Avalon, do you want to give it a shot?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I think probably whatever of those 3 is your highest.
You said it could either be intuition, education, or guile.
Yeah, so for you it would be intuition. And you can probably use one of your aspects to help with this if you want.
Yeah, could I use genius at work?
Genius at work. Let's see what that does. Third eye, partial sim, genius at work. When you select this stunt, use either education or intuition. Okay, no, that's not relevant here, but that would be relevant probably later on.
Okay.
But yes, for now, yeah, just roll intuition, and if it goes poorly, you can use one of your aspects.
Yeah. How do I use an aspect?
Okay, so all you're gonna do is spend a fate point. So go find this fate section on your character sheet. It's down under medical and mental stress. Subtract it by 1. And then let me know which aspect you're using. I think you could use Research Station Homeworld would make sense. You would also, I think, I will overthrow the Imperial States would make sense. And that's probably it that I can think of.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the research station homeworld.
Sure, that's a good justification. You subtracted that fate point.
I'm still looking for where the fate points are.
It's up a bit from aspects.
Yeah, it's in like the stress section.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yes. So go ahead and re-roll. You could either give yourself a +2 or a re-roll. In this case, a re-roll is better. That's better. Okay. So, you get a decent read on it. It doesn't feel scammy. It feels a little bit, draconian if you were explicitly to, like, you know, go talk about this to, like, a reporter or something. But it's not, it doesn't seem like there's anything in there that is specifically trying to take advantage of you guys.
Okay.
Everyone signs?
Yeah, I'll sign.
Yes.
A little background on Roy's comply comment. It wasn't like a whole Borg type of thing. It was simply an inefficiency thing. Roy wouldn't think of doing anything that would prevent the successful execution of whatever the mission is.
Mm-hmm.
So also he doesn't have really morality. So signing a contract that says you promise to do something, he's like, okay, I'll do whatever I want, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what she tells you. There's a professor at this university named Professor Mel Pooty, and you can thank Lindsay for the last name. I'm going to drop that in as well as the other names so far. Jeff, look in the chat for the spelling. Yep. Dean
Great.
Kelso.
That was the one name that I spelled correctly.
And Inquisitor, what's the Inquisitor's name?
Pollux.
Pollux.
Pollux. And do you need the spelling on the captain's name?
Captain Ilya? No.
Ilya, yes. Okay. So, Professor Mel Pooty, which, to be clear, is like pretty much the main character of the first level of this game. Thank you, Lindsay. Professor Mel Pooty.
Is that all one name or is that a hyphen?
And it's Mel is her first name. Pooty is
Okay.
her last name. So Professor Mel Pooty teaches archaeology and indigenous cultures at the Dynell University. And for years, she has been taking students out on expeditions to look at the ruins left by the indigenous people of Tritally. And it's never been an issue before. This year, she went out on an expedition at her regular time. All the documents were signed and everything. Everything was completely normal. She just never returned. This was last month. We have 6 students who were on assignment with her. They were her aides, and obviously, our professor being missing is a huge problem because all of her other classes aren't being taught right now, and we're having having to keep substitutes for a long period is not preferable. And also, we have 6 students that we don't know their whereabouts of, and that's not good PR. So yes, we need help finding out what happened to Professor Pooty and her 6 aides. What do you want to know?
Where
I
are
want to
they?
know if anything occult is going on.
I don't. Okay. Roll intuition. She says, I don't know what you mean.
I think I know what he means.
Okay. She knows what you mean.
What?
I mean, okay. She is hiding something.
She lied.
There is something going on that she is not telling you. Regarding
do I have the ability to read thoughts?
I think so. Let me check the wording on your character sheet, but I believe that is a baseline ability for empaths. Master Surgeon, adrenaline boost.
You can manipulate thoughts.
Maybe you can feel emotion since you're empath, not
to
telepath.
manipulate thoughts by using your warp shadow to affect others, you have the ability to read surface thoughts or deeper emotions. Okay.
Ooh.
She is nervous and so her thought when you said that, there were like 2 thoughts simultaneously. One was thinking about Inquisitor Pollux, and the other was thinking about a paper that she saw on or like a report thing that she saw on the professor's tablet while she was in her office, that had some arcane looking like designs on it, that she immediately like covered up. Like somebody walks into your room and you have like something open that you shouldn't, and you immediately close it. She got a look of a page that had some like eldritch looking shit on it that the professor immediately closed. That's what you get off of at the surface level. You know what? I should have made you roll for that, but that's fine. You rolled intuition recently. You rolled an 11, so we'll just go with that. It would have been an intuition roll. Okay.
Can I ask if we can inspect the professor's office?
Yeah. That is all right. And as a I think implied partner question to that, if you guys ask where she went, the dean does not know where she went. That's part of the problem. But
where was you said there were papers signed for a field trip kind of thing. Where were they planning to go according to those papers?
They were planning to go to to inspect local ruins in the blank region. But the region is like the size of a state. And that's all that they know from that. And yes, you are welcome to go look in her room. The other thing you should know is that 5 of the 6 students who went on this this trip with her all lived in a shared house just off campus called Codfeld House. So those are 2 leads you could explore: is the professor's office or Codfeld House.
Who else at the university that's still here knows about these ruins?
Everybody who has taken the professor's class before knows that there were indigenous people on this planet, and has anybody who's taken any of her upper level classes has gone on field trip to those ruins in the past, but nobody else, to the dean's knowledge, knows which ruins they were going to for this particular exhibit. Now, if you wanted to investigate either the dean or the students and the people they know and see if anybody knows like secondhand, you could do that.
That's where I'm after. Seeing if anybody's still in town that would know where to point us in the right direction.
Okay. So how do you guys want to go about this?
I think investigating the students. Wait, was it 5 or 6 students that went missing?
6 students went missing. Of those, 5 of them came from the same house, which is Codfeld House, a house off campus.
Were there any other people that lived in that house?
Yes.
Let's go investigate and talk to those people and see if any of them know.
Okay. Is that where you guys want to start? Do you guys want to split up and have some of you guys go check?
Yeah, I kind of want to go to the professor's office.
Okay, who's going to
I'll
the
go to the-
professor's office?
I'll go to the office.
Mate,
house.
Bluvan, anyone else?
Going along with where Mate is going.
Okay. Evelyn, are you going to student housing? That seems like something that would be your style.
Yeah. Let's go see what the
I'll
students think.
also go to student housing.
Captain,
Okay.
you should come with us. No. I say it on stuff.
Captain Ilya wants to go to the student housing. She thinks that will be the more interesting place. Ruda, where do you want to go?
I'm definitely going to student housing.
Okay, awesome. So we've got the team split up. Let's do the office first. I think that'll go quicker. Okay. So you guys, she gives you the key to get into the professor's office. You get in there. She has a like work computer, for lack of a better term, up on the screen. The work computer has, it has just like a hologram display.
Can we hack into it?
Yeah, so the lights and everything are off. You can come in there. You could hack into it, or you could, roll to investigate the room kind of thing.
So I'm not really a hacker, but if somebody has that skill, that would be nice. I'll just
Yeah.
poke around the room.
That's kind of why I came, because I wanted to mess around. Is the professor's tablet still here, or would that be with them?
Her, actually, I think, I know, Ruda, or somebody assumed her pronouns for the professor. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a male professor.
Okay.
I said Mel Pooty, it's a female professor. Okay. Yeah, so, she... What was the question? Oh, her tablet.
Yeah.
This is her computer. A tablet is much like in our world, a kind of like more portable version. It's a little bit more like a full-blown laptop. Like it's more multifunctional. But an office computer, most people would still have an office computer for like heavy duty work, and just to have like the structure of having an office kind of thing. So her office computer is here, her tablet is not.
Okay, that's good.
Office computer would have been where that pop-up was spotted.
Yeah, I definitely want to go over to the computer and switch out my hand in interface. I definitely like the interface with the computer.
Okay. Roll software.
Giggity.
There's lots of aspects
Giggity.
to help to do.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
So let's start with just a roll. 9. 9 is a little more than mediocre.
Yeah, no. I was definitely thinking I would use an aspect. I could use natural hacker.
Natural hacker is the obvious one. So here's what I'll give you. You have the choice of either re-rolling or taking a +2. You've already rolled a 7. The chance of you rolling anything higher than a 9 on a re-roll is very small. You should.
Yeah,
probably
I'm
take a +2.
definitely gonna take the +2, and I'll subtract the 1 fate point, right?
Yep. And And to be clear, both of you guys have given me 2 extra fate points that I can use against you guys.
Yep, that's perfectly fine. Mate really just likes interfacing with any other electronics and learning whatever he can, or they can, from it, rather.
Okay.
What's the hacking role?
Software.
Software. Yeah, I think Roy would do it as well.
Okay, so you guys, I think, are kind of like filtering through files together and comparing notes. Roy, do you have a +3 software?
No, I have a 4.
Okay. I will just say that you're going to give an additional +2 to their roll.
Okay.
I don't even need you to roll for it because you're very good at it.
Alright.
So, you guys are able to find, her computer is locked, but Mate, you're able to, go into the computer kind of like Matrix style, which is how most people interface with devices at any like deep level. And you are able to get past the initial security guards, which I think is conceptualized almost more like picking a lock than anything else. You get past her password, and you get inside, and the next thing, that is what I said I think would have gone if you had just gotten a 9, but you got a 13. So you got inside and you found her obvious files that talked about where she was going, specifically what her landing site was. That's the kind of stuff that was just in like her her recent emails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Talked about that. With a deeper role, you find that there's actually information that she has kind of hidden on her computer through obscurity. Hiding it in out-of-the-way folders that people wouldn't think to check, and using like different file names that are not accurate to what the contents of the files are, stuff like that.
You found her porn folder.
Yes.
I found a folder that says not underscore porn.
No, what's it labeled?
Brazilian butts.
You can tell me what it's labeled, Kevin.
Oh God, why are you doing this to me?
Any player can tell me what the label on the file is. Here's what I will tell you: the file has information about occult stuff. What is the file's name?
I like to imagine that it's actually it's disguised as porn, but it's really occult like research papers and stuff.
Yeah, no, yeah, okay, I like that. So here's what it's called. You find a folder in her computer that is called like important business documents, and then inside of important business documents you find like Nautilin X Avian Hardcore Pounding dot
Wow.
You know that you can convert this from an MP4 file to a text document, and then inside of that text document you find it's actually not like a TXT file, it's like it has pictures, and it's like a whole like it's more like a OneNote thing where like it has lots of different kinds of information explored, organized in a very like organic way, and you find years of research, just kind of like thoughts that appears together about the locals, who were some variation of they think that they were some kind of Aelfin or some Aelfin derived subspecies or culture, and there's lots of miscellaneous stuff that is information about the culture that she's not ready to have be publicly available yet, maybe because she could like publish a file, like a paper on it later and make a lot of money, but in any case it's something that she didn't want people to know about. And then there's a special section where it talks about relationship. I think that there's a section that's called like occult rituals ? And it talks about how she has found ritual chambers and like scrawlings on the wall and documents and stuff in her architectural digs that are consistent with similar rituals that are that show up from demonic cults. The other thing that you know is that, and this is probably the more damning thing, is that in order for her to make that connection, she has done research into demonic cults and has actually some like what's it called? Illegal government documents,
Classified materials.
Government materials about the occult on here.
Okay.
Terran documents. Yes. So I think that everybody who is in this room who reads those documents, you can go ahead and give yourself a personal aspect called Secret Knowledge : Inquisition 1.
Where do I do that? Aspects.
Aspects. So this would be under culture and homeworld, but above race aspects.
So we're calling it Secret Knowledge what?
Inquisition 1. I might give you guys extra.
Secret Knowledge Inquisition 1.
Yep. So I might give you guys more.
Under personal. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Above race, under culture.
Yep. Okay. So. Yeah.
Is there kind of any more that Mate could specifically glean from the occult knowledge? Like
roll intuition for me.
Damn, I thought I'd be rolling occult.
Poops.
Here's what I'll give you with a decent occult. You know that you know most of this occult shit fairly well. I actually really should have had you guys roll occult for some of that, but I want to get your intuition. Is that the most recent roll? Yeah.
Yeah, that was my most recent. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing jumps out at you. So,
okay.
Yeah, so what you got from this is you got the landing location, and you also got, from the landing location, you know the, like, sub-region that they were going to be working on this trip. And I think that she probably even had, like, hand-drawn, like, map files, because again, this is, or I guess I haven't told you this yet, this is not a fully mapped world. This map does not have a GPS. So she has handmade these maps with, like, her own notes about local geology, stuff like that, geography,
Mm-hmm.
local geology, local squares,
Local squares, the polygons.
yeah, local polygons. Okay, so
So
I
wait,
think
we
that's
got
what
coordinates
you-
though, right?
Hmm?
We got coordinates.
You don't have exact coordinates of where she is. You have coordinates of where she parked, and you have coordinates of like a 10 square mile area that she is working within.
Okay, that's fine. Can I fashion an email to
Feels good.
Evelyn?
Yeah.
All right, I would like to send an email, and I'd like the heading to just say "occult" in all caps, and then alert, and then I'd like
You
to
set it to high priority.
very high priority, and I'd set read receipts to on.
Okay.
I have a question. So,
Mhm.
is there any chance that communication could be intercepted, or is this pretty private?
Encrypt it.
It can absolutely be intercepted.
Oh,
It-
shit.
I wouldn't know to do that, so I'm not
Two-factor
encrypting it.
roll software. And
Oh God, Pollux.
Roll software, and we'll take that as how good of an encryption on it. Yeah, it's fucking encrypted as hell.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
You won't be able to open it until you give her the key. So, do you
Yeah.
give her basically the whole file.
Yeah, I'm gonna drag and drop that right in.
Okay. Any other questions before we go to the other team?
Nope, I think that's our next objective. So,
Real quick before we go, Mate would like to ask Roy, how did you get so good at hacking?
Well, there's no difference between what this is and what we are, or at least what I used to be. So it's just a matter of introspection.
Very good.
What? Yeah, that just like throws Mate for a loop, and they just assume that that's the best answer they can get. So they go, "Oh, okay."
Okay. So,
Yeah.
we cut to the other team, and in order to earn the trust and respect of this college house, one of you guys is currently smashing a recently emptied beer can against your forehead. Which one is it?
I think it should be me because I just like they're gonna hand me the can and I'm gonna be like, I eat heavier metals like this for breakfast. I'm just gonna like,
okay. So the other guy was like, yeah, try this, and he takes a fucking Natty Bow Light and chugs the whole thing, and I think it takes him like 20 seconds. Like, it's not that impressive. And then he smashes it against his forehead, and he's like, it looks like it hurt a fair amount. And then Amil just fucking eats it. Do you just eat the whole bottle with the beer in it?
Yeah, the whole bottle
stick
with
it in
the
your
beer
mouth and absorb it.
and then you like see me like burp, but it's like a blue flame, like
Very good.
and I'm like, this is just like an aluminum shell around like some oxygen and hydrogen. There's barely any trace elements of anything in here.
Okay,
I'm gonna look at them like, what?
all
what
the
is
students
this?
in the house look at each other and they nod solemnly and they go, "All right, you are initiated." What do you want to do, bro? The students that you have in the house with you. Did I grab any sprites for them? I did. Okay. Let me drag these two over. Token layer. You guys can see two new sprites that I dropped down to the right side of the that party. Okay, so there's maybe like 3 people left that are living in this house. It's a I think it's a 4-story house, and like 2 bedrooms per story kind of thing. So 5 of them are missing, and you have 2 of the. I think probably these are the only 2 that are left in the house. And one of them is an art student who is minoring in archaeology, who is particularly interested in like using indigenous influence in her art, and also has very much like a fantasy art style, and just uses a lot of like ruins aesthetic and stuff.
I'm gonna like, under my breath, I'm gonna be like, where I'm from, we call that colonialism.
Okay, yeah, that's very appropriate.
Wow.
The other guy is an undeclared major, which is probably not good because he's in his 4th year. But he currently is an archaeology minor. And he was not eligible to go on this trip because he's already gone on a trip with this professor, and his parents wouldn't pay the fee to go on this one. They're both very unsettled that their like friends and roommates and housemates have not been back in a month. Like, this is bad, and they're both kind of like in grief.
Oh.
What do you want to know? So it's grief, beer drinking, and then head smashing.
Oh, that's bad.
The student who had already gone on a trip with the professor, I want to ask him how the first trip went.
So we landed the shuttle. We all took off in. We had like 3 different off-road vehicles, and we had to spend. I think we spent like 3 days driving around the area from our landing site, looking for different, searching for anything that seemed out of place. Whenever we would find ruins, they would be so heavily like engulfed inside the forest that, it was like a real lucky find if you found anything. In our trip, we didn't find anything until the last day before we had to leave, so we were only able to do a surface level investigation, and it was pretty cool, if I do say so myself. It was like a bunch of old houses and stuff.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but my friend Ruda over here is the coolest person ever, so it couldn't have been that cool. Anyways, did anything about that trip seem suspicious or out of place? Like, it seems a little strange that you guys spent some time out there and then didn't find anything until you wouldn't be able to investigate it fully.
Oh, no. A lot of people who go on these trips find things in the, first day. We were just unlucky. No, we didn't find anything suspicious, but anything like super interesting. Nothing that we didn't already know for the most part, but we got a cool look into the, lifestyle of the natives. That was pretty dope.
But was anybody on the trip acting out of the ordinary? Like, did something seem not right with your crew rather than your surroundings?
He scratches his head. He said, old Prof Mel was pretty bummed that she didn't find something she was looking for out there. But, I think that's just because we didn't find anything interesting, and, professors always looking for, like, the next big thing to move their career forward or whatever. Professors, am I right? They probably write a book about it and then make us buy it.
You're so right, bro.
Whatever.
Why do you gotta hurt me with these jokes, Bryn?
Okay. Next question.
Bro, have you heard anything about a dark wind by chance?
Bro.
I mean, yeah. Natty Bo Brand's Darkwind. That's what we just smashed. No.
Are you referring to this, like, dilute ethyl alcohol mixture that you have somehow managed to create in a crude manner out of, like, malted grains? Is that what?
Bro, it's
Listen,
called beer.
man, we're all just sitting on a rock that's flipping through space all the time. We don't have to get too metaphysical about these things, or else it gets weird.
Oh my god.
So, I have a abstract question. Does the tavern serve similar alcohol to this shit? The one on the ship, I mean.
The tavern on the ship serves much nicer alcohol than this. You have to special order a month in advance if you want alcohol this shitty. Any other questions? You guys have not found anything yet that would help you find the student's location, and you do not know that the other people have.
I think these students are kind of, well, not the brightest.
Well, you've only been talking to the one who's like a deadbeat. You haven't been talking to the
Look.
other.
Oh, no, why don't we go upstairs and find the student that's, like, not partying and is just, like, doing homework quietly in his room?
Ruda sticks around and like tries to get out of the kid where the ruins are.
Here's what I will give. He is the guy is partying. The other kid, who their gender is not, very evident on the surface. The other kid is sitting on a big, like, Easy Boy recliner with a textbook on their lap, trying to study, and you guys are very distracting. And they keep looking like they want to get up and go to another room, and they're like, "No, whatever, they need me." Yes. What do you want to ask them? Oh, and to answer your question, Ruda, he can give you the location of the place that he went to, but that's not the place that his housemates were going to.
Does he know where? Like, does he know the location of where the housemates were going?
Would he? I think he doesn't. He thinks that he remembers them telling him, but he doesn't remember, in specific what XY coordinates were told to him a month ago. But he says you could probably go check Sarah's room. She's pretty, meticulous and anal about these things. She might have some notes around somewhere.
So we have permission to ransack the rooms then?
I mean, I don't know about ransack. When my friends get back, I don't want them to come back to, like, a two-partied up house.
No, it's fine. I'll just tell them you said it was okay, and then, like, Avalyn's just gonna bolt up the stairs.
Wow.
I'm gonna bolt up the stairs too.
Okay. The captain looks over at the other kid who's studying and just kind of nods and is like, "Yep, that's how it be sometimes." And then he walks up the stairs after you, and you hear the kid downstairs sigh. Okay. It's up to the room that he indicated was Sarah, I believe is who I said. Sarah's room. I guess a perception roll would be the one to find this stuff, unless we have investigation, but I don't think we do.
Yeah, no, I think it's just perception.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, Evelyn knows a thing or two about meticulous college students, and Evelyn is able to she finds this girl's secret diary. Not that decoy diary that she keeps on top of her desk, but the secret diary that she has in the hidden the hidden drawer under the main drawer.
Nice.
Yeah. And it talks about how she's having a fling with Eric, and then how like Eric is actually not that good in bed, and it's very depressing.
Wow.
The drama
Damn.
of her, Eric, and Melissa. And then you get the like, hey, I'm super excited. Like we're going with Professor Mel to a dig. It's gonna be my first one. This is so cool. I'm so glad to get all that Eric drama behind me. Unfortunately, Eric's coming with me on this. Oh no, sorry. It's gotta be Melissa. Sorry, let me go ahead and write this down. Melissa.
Oh Jesus. Does it go, I'm super excited to go to, and then give the exact GPS coordinates on the planet?
I mean, she gives pretty much. It is. This student seems like she takes meticulous records so that she can come back and like notes or write a paper about it later.
Right.
And she wrote the coordinates down for her own reference. You guys think about what this means, and we can actually go ahead and say that the party reconvenes and everybody can share what they learned. I'm going to the bathroom.
I
That
think
was
at
really
this
good.
point, at this point, we probably would have linked back up, like she said. So, I would think that at that point, Evelyn finally noticed the email and was just like, "Oh, mate, what's this? I can't open it."
And I would just be kind of sad that you didn't try to open it initially as soon as I sent it. Maybe we'll probably go like, it said urgent. It had a warning.
Mate knows passive aggression.
Sorry, mate. We were over there crushing some beers and finding secret diaries. So
That
I
sounds like
apologize.
fun. Wait, you probably need the encryption. Hold on. And just rummage through the little compartment in my leg. I'm just gonna hand you like a USB key. You can use this.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna plug it into my phone and finally open this up. Now, what exactly, like, Bren said that your occult check, you didn't pull anything from it, so, like, what did you know on the surface?
I think the information that we were immediately able to share was just like all the documentation that was on her computer. And then, so like the rough map of the system, like the space that they were in, and kind of like hoping that you know more about stuff.
Okay.
I am very
I wouldn't...
I'm very curious how the professor was able to hack in and get like government documents, like classified government documents.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, lots of people could probably be able to do that though, right?
So to be clear, it is not necessarily that she got these documents out of a government database. It's that this is information that if the government knew somebody had, they would suppress. It's more like banned books than like, you know, CIA like folders.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Can I take a look over what Mate sent me and see if I can glean anything additional from it?
You can. I'm gonna go ahead and just because Mate had a dope roll earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't have anything else for you to find. But you can read through it and you learn all kinds of cool stuff. I don't think everybody in the party needs to add this same like aspect to themselves, but anybody in the party can invoke. Anybody who has read this document can invoke mate or voice aspect if they want to.
We should set up a party aspect.
I need to find a better way of handling aspects in general, but it's unless one of you guys wants to manage that, it would be just too much overhead for me right now.
Yeah, no problem.
But I do like the idea of that. Okay. Do you guys know the landing site of where this professor parked, basically, before they started looking around?
I mean, we could just go there.
So, question. It is 4 o'clock. We've been playing for 2 hours. Are we good to go a while longer?
I totally am.
I think I'm probably going to cut it soon.
Okay. Mikhail?
Sorry, I was chewing.
Okay.
I should be good for a bit longer.
I feel like I'm kind of winding down a little.
Is this a good stopping point, though?
Here's what I think that a good stopping point. Yeah, I'm gonna get you guys to the next location, and then we'll stop there.
Yeah, could you like set up the next
Sure.
scene? Cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yes, Aeneas, I think that whispering noise is coming from this song.
Okay.
Yeah, that's from the ghost inside his computer.
It was so scary because you were like, "Are you ready to go a little further?" And the song just went, "No," and I was like, "What the going on?"
Mate just has like a bunch of like really creepy occult songs playing now because Mate is just really intrigued by the idea of having occult stuff around.
Oh yeah, no, these songs are killing it.
So, where do you guys, how do you guys want, do you guys want to just take everything over to the landing location? You're going to take the whole, Amil's whole Galanga ship, and all the vehicles inside of it, and then have Evelyn fly over with her space shuttle as well, and you guys just all park at this parking location that the professor indicated?
Mate doesn't have like personal transportation, so they would need to ride along with anyone else.
Yeah. I can't think of any reason, unless you guys want to, I don't think you guys need to leave any of your vehicles behind. So I'm going to move the party over to this new map. And this, I'm pretty proud of this map. It is hand-drawn and painted.
Ooh.
Oh,
And
wow.
this is a... Oh, no. That's not accurate.
Is that the wrong map?
That's the right map. It's just not the up-to-date version.
Oh no.
Let me see if I have the updated version on here. Maps and stuff.
I see Bluvan.
Bluvan loves it.
Tritally cool.psd. Oh, hey, that's fine. It's on the other computer. I'll update it before the next game. Here's what I'll give you real fast so you can see what a better one looks like. This is, no, I'm not going to give that to you until you get there. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and turn on Fog of War for that map. Okay, so you guys get to this map. This is a decent indication of what the landscape here looks like. I've put Bluvan on it just so that I could have a scale to work with. There's the grass here is like 50 feet high on average. There are some like clover-like plants, and again, it's not based on Earth biology. It is its own native biology to this planet. That's just the closest like language that you guys have to describe this kind of plant. You could just as easily describe it as like, green tentacles that are poking up into the air. Like they're just leafy green thingies poking up into the air that are like 50 feet tall on average, and they're the low end that appear to be like fully grown and not like saplings are like 30 feet tall, and the high end are like 100. You also spot as you're flying over, there are bigger plants that are kind of like shrub-like that these plants look like they might be as much as like 500 feet tall, and you'll only have like one every mile, if that. Actually, probably one every like 100 miles. They're very rare. And then you have this stuff that looks to you guys like bushes, but is actually closer to moss, but it's like giant moss that comes up to like your chin. And then big areas of open dirt. So you guys land.
Wow.
We have, I'm gonna drag your whole party out, and you guys park the Galanga, and you park Avalon's space shuttle, and those two are able to park with some room to spare, and you park alongside an existing ship that is Avalon's space shuttle sized, not Galanga sized. It's more like a big bus that is parked here and is covered in dust. Like it obviously has not been touched for a long time. There are some supplies packed up on the side of this cliff. There's a natural hill running down from this cliff that helps you get below. There's a place where you can see that these off-road vehicles were set up, and one off-road vehicle is left behind. And that's all I have for you right now. I could keep going, but it's better if I just stop at this point and then take it a week to prep more content. Yeah. So.
Sounds good.
Any questions? Are we all feeling good?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, that was very good. I appreciate the setup.
Yeah. How did you guys enjoy our second university that you guys have gone to?
Yeah, we keep going to school.
Cool. We also had a university in another campaign that I DM'd. Do I just have a thing where I like DMing universities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Possibly.
You recently watched Animal House or something?
Yes, I didn't think it through that much.
The combination of like Temple of Knowledge and like Animal House style partying.
It's very fun to DM. Okay. Any questions before we pack up?
Nope.
I'm
Not
good.
on my end.
Not for
Alright
me.
guys, this was a really fun game.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to the next one.
Alright, bye everyone.
Cool, man. Let's catch y'all
Have
next
a
week.
good
See
weekend,
ya.
Bye.
guys.
Bye bye.
Deuces.